So now that we began talking about how to combine shapes using the Shape Builder tool, I really want to focus on what you can actually do with this tool. So what we're going to do is create a cloud first. And this seems really small, but a cloud is essentially a bunch of circles together, right? So I'm going to go grab my ellipse tool and I'm going to set my fill color to be like a light grayish. And then I'm going to set my stroke. I'm going to actually click on my stroke over here in the tools and I'm going to set it to none. This will allow me to then draw a circle. Now these ellipses or these circles are not going to be all symmetrical. So I'm just going to draw a bunch of circles on top of each other that overlap, making sure I have no space in the middle, but it looks cloud-like. Okay, so I've got about 6 circles here, and it's starting to make a cloud shape. I could even probably draw a couple more just to add in a little bit more realisticness to this cloud, like such. Okay, so you've got all these circles, and if you don't have them yet, pause the video here and create your circles. With all the circles, you have all of these individually in here. We're now going to begin combining them. So remember, with the Shape Builder tool, you first create your shapes. You then select all of the shapes that you want to either combine, remove, the shapes you want to edit together, and then you go grab the Shape Builder tool. With all the shapes selected, it's then able to find all the paths and figure out how you're going to be combining them. Now, I actually want to combine every single one of these circles. So you'll notice that when I begin to click and drag across, I need to hit every little piece because right now it's only combining the paths that I'm over. So if I select this right now, you'll see that that combines those 3 into one piece, but it didn't grab the rest of this big circle right here of all these shapes or right here. So you have to actually draw across every single little shape, including the little pieces in between each circle, and combine them all together till they are all gray. And you'll notice that even this one down here that's very small, I needed to make sure I clicked and I combined. And I even missed one. If I zoom in here, you can see I missed this tiny little triangle here. So I need to combine those together so that they are then all one shape. Now, if I click off of it and I click back on, I've now got a cloud that I can manipulate and combine however I wish to in this shape area. So you have that piece. Now let's talk about wanting to remove a piece, right? So let's say, for instance, I want to create a really nice moon. I want to create a moon that is a crescent moon, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and take my cursor of my ellipse tool. I'm going to make sure that everything's deselected, so I'm going to click off of everything first, and I'm going to go ahead and grab the ellipse tool and change the color to be like a nice dark yellow, like almost like a brownish yellow that would be moon-like, right? And click OK. I'm then going to draw a circle, and I'm going to hold Shift to make it a perfect circle and let go of my click. I'm then going to take this, and if I think about it, I want to make a crescent moon right here. So how would you create a crescent moon? What shape would you use to create that crescent? I personally would take the exact same circle and move it over to create that crescent. So I'm going to take my selection tool, take this moon, I'm going to hold Alt on my keyboard and I'm going to drag. That's going to create a duplicate of it. And if you actually hold Alt and Shift on your keyboard, it will not only duplicate, but it'll keep it in line. And I'm going to let go till it's overlapped and ready to roll. And then you can see here when I hover over this and I look at the paths, this part off to the right over here is going to be my crescent moon. So once I've got both circles, I'm going to select them, take my Shape Builder tool, and I'm going to go ahead and remove these 2 pieces on the left, keeping this piece on the right. How do I remove them again? Instead of my cursor having a plus sign, because if I click and drag now, it's just going to combine those shapes, I can hold Alt on my keyboard, which turns that into a minus sign to remove these shapes, and I can click and drag across to remove these 2 shapes, creating a crescent moon. So sometimes you're wanting to combine, sometimes you're wanting to use 2 shapes to create a different one by removing other pieces. I could then take my selection tool and I could rotate this to make this look more like a crescent moon, like such, and now I have a crescent moon with my cloud. Don't forget to save this so that you can use it in a future lesson.